Well, hey everybody. Welcome to what is always our most popular webinar we do every year, the Retailer's Guide to a Successful Christmas. I think this is year 12. I've done this thing now for our clients just to share with you just a whole bunch of different things that I think you can do out in your stores. The way these webinars always go, we have a limit of 100 seats that we put in. We sell these things out, and then like half of you show up for it. So for those of you who are here, thank you very, very much. So we have a lot to be able to get through. So just a bit of the lay of the land. I'm going to start off talking to you about some of what's going on in the world of retail. There was a really good study done by the Leger and the Retail Council of Canada. I'll share just a little bit of that information just to set the tone. Then I go cranking through a whole bunch of selling ideas, some staff management ideas, some marketing ideas, some store operations ideas, and then at the end, I've got about 10 ideas that are really just designed for independent retailers. So if you're working for a big chain, and there's a number of you guys on the line, when I get to that, I'll give you the heads up. By all means, you're welcome to sign off because it's things that you can't do very much about because it's controlled by your head office. But if you're an independent retailer, you want to pay attention to those things along the way. So let me get going into this thing. And where I really want to start is by talking about this survey. Let's see. Somebody's got to mute themselves here. There we go. I think I just muted somebody. And Leger did this survey in conjunction with the Retail Council of Canada. They surveyed nearly 2,000 Canadians, basically just asking them what they're thinking going into the holiday season. They do this every year. It's always very insightful. Here's where we start. And I have a habit when I do these things, never to put up any bad news about anything that's going on because there's a ton of potential that exists in the market out there. However, there is a sense that people are going to spend maybe a little bit less this year. 60% are going to spend less than 500. That's not a big difference, but there's fewer people in the upper categories. We normally see people saying they're going to spend about 700, 750, 790 is where it landed last year. People inevitably spend a little more than that, closer to 1,300, 1,400. I think you just have to be aware that it may be a little bit more challenging. We've seen it in retail numbers over the past 60 days that it is a little bit more challenging. And for obvious reasons, I mean, there's no surprise on this. The media has been screaming from hilltops on high about this, about Canadians' concern. The biggest concern that people have is cost of living and inflation. Everything just bloody well costs more out there. People are concerned about their budgets, costs of goods and services, higher interest rates. The list goes on. So there's no real surprise in that. What's important to understand is when they ask the question about, so what's going to inspire you for gift-giving inspiration? Well, no surprise, at the top of the list is what my friends and family say they want. They tell you what they want. That's the biggest influence on you. You're going to go out and get it. But I highlighted in yellow, second on the list, and this is important for all the brick and mortar retailers, products that they see in the store, right? All the other things, right? Websites and social media, that's down the list. Still really important. But it's our execution at store level of our merchandising strategies, our promotional strategies, and most importantly, our staff interaction with our customers that's going to have a massive influence on customers in our store. This is the messaging that's, I think, going to influence a lot of consumer buying behaviors out there. At the top of that list is how much can you save with special holiday offers and discounts? And you just have to take a look at, how people are feeling about the holidays, and people are concerned about the cost of things and inflation and the economy and the list goes on. If we have some messaging in our stores about savings, that's incredibly influential for them. Shipping options, delivery timelines, that's obvious. If you're running an e-com business, people need to know that it's going to show up on time. Product availability and updates, all those good things. So having said all that, that just sort of sets the tone. Here's what I tell everybody. I run through, I think there's like 40, 50 different ideas that I'm going to share with you. Just find five. Just find five. Put those into place. I promise you'll sell more. Here's what I know. If you run your business, if you run your store this year, the way you ran it last year, you'll do worse out there. It's the nature of more competitive. Traffic counts are down in most retail environments out there. So if you're just doing the same old, well, expect probably a little bit less. But there's so much potential inside all of our stores. It amazes me. I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm an observer, and I'm sure you are too, when you go out as a consumer shopping in other stores. I just stand and I just watch. And I see a lot of great things going on, but I just see missed sale after missed sale. I may see missed add-ons. You see people clerking sales, people not getting waited on, staff not knowing what they're talking about, staff just giving up too easily. And it's just crazy because I just think, well, if we just closed all those gaps, we could sell an awful lot more. And that's the idea with this. We're not going to become perfect, right? We're sitting here on November, somebody help me, 14th, 15th, somewhere in around there. We're not going to get perfect. We just have to find those ways to be able to get better. So with that in mind, let's get into it. Let's start by talking about Christmas selling tips. This one I never have talked about before, but it's important. Show your customers how they can save money. Take a look at the list of ways that they could save money in your store. Excuse me. Sale, discounted items, the promotions, compare at pricing, volume purchases. If you buy it in bigger quantity, you tend to, save more money. For those of you who are selling higher quality products, it's sending that message to people that they will save more. Sorry, I just got to mute somebody here. I just don't like the competition. So get it out there in front, right? And retailers have always done a pretty good job about putting things on sale. But now if you're a staff member, just know that not with everybody, but with a lot of customers, don't be afraid of starting a little bit earlier in your conversation with, we've got some really good values in around the store. We've got some ways that you could really save money, right? Those sort of messages will resonate really well with your customers. The next one, really important, be fully informed. More than 80% of customers go online and do their research before coming into the store. So if you're a staff member and you're in that store and you're not as informed as your customer is, you don't stand a chance, right? It's incredibly frustrating for a customer. They're thinking, well, I don't even work here and I know more about it than you know. Know what's going on. Know your products. Know what's on your company's Facebook page. Know what's on their website. Know what we're promoting on there. We in a store are just an extension of all the other media that we have in a business. And that's important, right? We're the most important part of the media, the messaging that we send out. You've got to be at the top of your game to be able to do that really, really well. Moving on, be informed. Things move really fast over the holidays, right? Products come in, products are sold out, things get moved around. You've got part-timers that are working like 8, 12 hours a week. They come in, they're a fish out of water. The store looks different. Do a store walk at the beginning of the day. Make it part of your shift starter. Like, what's new? What's sold down? What sizes or quantities left? What's on promo? Where is it? And I highlighted it in yellow as big as I could. The biggest thing in my mind is that knowing what else I can sell with each of the items that are in the store. So if traffic counts are going to be down out there, we have to get our average basket up. Right? We have to sell more to every customer that's coming into the store. So if I'm aware of what all the accessories are, the logical add-ons are for each of the items that I sell in my store, it's a little easier to be able to suggest them along the way. So make a point of not just knowing where it is. Start working with it. You're a manager on the line today. Start training your staff on, okay, here's this item. Tell me 3 things you would sell with it. And then get your staff really engaged on that side. We got to move faster. Drives me nuts. I get into stores and I see staff doing a great job building rapport in these long conversations with customers. That's really fantastic. But if I'm standing there and I'm waiting and you're ignoring me and that conversation is going on, I know it's going great. On a Tuesday in February, you have that time. You don't have that time right now. So we've got to move fast. So we always, I put up this little silly chart when I talk about how to wait on more than one customer at a time, right? So that's you, the good looking person in the middle. You've got your first customer. That's the one who got your original attention. And now you got the second customer coming in. So there's a progression of things that we tell people to do. The very first thing you have to do is you just have to acknowledge the second customer. The moment you look over at me, if you want to stop me huffing and puffing and tapping my foot and looking at my watch, just acknowledge me. Just give me the smile. Give me the little knowing finger that you're going to be with me in a minute. Just that will normally calm me down. But it doesn't always calm me down because now all of a sudden, I'm still frustrated. I'm still messing up your displays over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say to my first customer, I'm going to get their permission. I'm going to say, listen, I've got a customer over here that looks like they're in a bit of a hurry. Would you mind if I just went over for a minute to look after them? Everybody's going to say yes, right? Because you're asking it politely. Then I'm going to get them busy, right? And it's going to be, while I'm gone, do me a favor, have a look around this display or look at this brochure while I'm gone. It's got some of the information that you're looking for. Will you wait for me? That's their commitment to wait, right? You could go back. Most of us on the line today are from Canada. You can go back in 6 months. They'll still be there. We're incredibly polite people. But that's the process that we do. Then when I go over to the second customer, the first thing I do is I apologize. Sorry to keep you waiting. It's really busy. Don't forget, the most important part of every sale is rapport. So you have to start with a little bit of rapport. If it's quick, serve them. Because normally the reason I'm frustrated, I just want to know, do you have it in stock? I ordered it online. Where do I pick it up? Like, it's those sort of things that have that customer, not always, but sometimes frustrated. If you can serve them quick, look after them. If not, get them busy with something. Say, well, tell you what, I got to finish up with my first customer. Have a look through here. I think it's going to get you started. Will you wait for me? And then I'm going to head back over to my first customer. I'm going to try to finish up the sale there. We've got some shoe retailers on the line. You guys are masters at this thing. You get people with their shoes off, they're not going anywhere. Fashion retailers that are on the line, you get somebody in the change room naked, they're not leaving. So you've got those people. But everybody else, you've got to work just a little bit harder. Now, I'm going to build this slide. If there's one time in this program you want to take out your phone and take a picture of a slide, this would be it. Wait till it all builds at the end. I'll give you a minute to be able to do this. You have to have special add-on strategies at holidays. I mean, you have all your usual add-on strategies. We want to trade them up. We've got to wardrobe it. We want to sell care products. There's all these things. But during the holidays, there's additional add-on strategies that we use. 5 of them. First one, who else is on their list? And I'm going to give you some italics lines of what I might say to the customer. These are my words, not yours. You got to find yours. I might just say to somebody, so how's your Christmas shopping coming along? Who else do you still have to buy for? Innocent question, but what I'm trying to do is open up the door to a potential of another sale. They've been in buying something for their one kid. Who else they have to buy for? What they have to get for the teacher, they have to get to. You might be able to help them out with something there because people get a little bit tunnel focused when they're in shopping. So I asked them that. Secondly, the self-gift. Over 60% of people, this number, by the way, is growing every year I do the research on this. Over 60% of people buy something for themselves. Why? Because the stuff we get sucks, right? So just find your words. I have a habit of just trying to innocently introduce something. So I was reading that a lot of people buy themselves a gift at Christmas. Did you see anything in the store that you would just love to have for yourself? And all of you come in different types of shapes and sizes and different stores that are on the line today. But consider the possibility when they're buying for somebody else, there's something that they might want in the store. Third, holiday entertaining. Thank God. Pandemic's over. We're all having people over more. We're all going out to dinners at people's places. All this stuff's going on. Entertaining is a massive category. So just ask people, do you do a lot of entertaining over the holidays? Do you have any events to go to, right? If you got people coming over, you got to buy some stuff, right? If you have an event to go to, if you're in a fashion store of any particular description, you're going to have to get something. If they're going over to somebody's house, they're going to have to get a hostess gift. Like, just think about the possibilities that exist for entertaining. Fourth, gift cards. I'm going to come back and talk about this thing. You got to prompt people on them. I'll give you all the data as to why. But I always say, have you ever been caught off guard when somebody shows up with an unexpected present? Just a thought, but having a gift card or two on hand can come in really handy. Right? Give them a reason why they might want to consider spending an extra 20, 25, 30, 50 bucks on a gift card so they have a couple of these things on hand. You got to open up the idea. And then lastly, this is the last build on this slide, stocking stuffers, impulse items, massive categories. I don't know how many of you on the line exchange stockings in your family, a bit of a munja cake thing to do. I'm one of those. But there are people to put together because everybody's always looking for something that's creative. So how is it you can find something in your store for them that's there? So do you exchange stockings in your family? If you're like ours, finding unique things to put in them is a real challenge. We've got some great ideas over here. Again, start it with a question and just introduce it. 5 strategies. They're not going to say yes to all 5, but you know what? If you got 1 or 2 possibilities out of there, think about what starts to happen with your average basket and the customer experience, because you satisfied more of their needs. You save them some time while they're in your store. You got to get going on these things. No more clerking the sale, please. We don't need that at the holidays. So service levels in retail stores crash. during the holidays because we get really busy and we start sucking at sales and we don't execute the way we're supposed to. Slow it down when you can, just a little bit. None of these add-on strategies take long. They're just little conversational things while you're with the customer. Put them into place, use them. Gift cards, I told you I'd come back to it. They've been in the market forever. God's gift to retail is gift cards. People give you their money. They don't even take any product. You get the cash. You get to hold their cash and still sell that product that they would have bought in the store to somebody else with margin attached to it, which generates more cash for you. And then they eventually come in and redeem the gift card. Up to 10% are never redeemed. Shh, don't tell anybody. And 61% of people, when they come in to redeem it, spend more than the value of the gift card. They spend on average $30 more. So it's kind of like, well, why would I not want to sell these things to like everybody? And I always say, I never want to start with the gift card. To me, it's always like the add-on thing, or it's the save of the sale at the end. But start promoting these things constantly in around your store. The fact that you have them on a little spinner or at the cash desk and nobody's ever talking to them, you're waiting for the customer to do the work. Start pointing these things out to your customers. SWAT, sell what's available today. You're going to start selling that as stuff, guaranteed. You're going to be sold down. Somebody's going to come in looking for the hot item or 2 or 3 for the season. You're not going to have it available in your store. Get over it. What else are you going to sell them? Right? Sell what's available today. You got hundreds, thousands of other products in and around the store, right? Have a strategy of executing that scenario. So when a customer comes in and you don't have it, just go, interesting. What did you like about that item? Right? And the moment they tell me what they liked about it, and just prompt them, get them to feel a little bit, you know what? We're out of stock on that right now, but we've got a couple things that do that exact same thing. Let me show them to you. Right? And now you have a chance of being able to show them something else that actually fits their needs. Selling for 2024, you're going to see all kinds of people in your store in the next 6 weeks that have never been in your store before. To the degree that they have a great, not a mundane, not an average, to the degree that they have a great experience in your store is to the same degree they will come back and see you again all of next year. They discover you. They discover it was an amazing experience that extends beyond the products and the price. It's an amazing experience because of you and your team and how you guys dealt with them in the store. And if we can succeed at that, if we can get that mindset on that, hey, we're really busy now, but we're selling to set up a successful 2024. We're just not trying to survive the season. We're trying to ensure that we've got a 2024 that we're going to be proud of. That's where we get it really on our horse. We invite our customers back. We build rapport. We build connection. We make them laugh in there. If you have loyalty programs, email programs, for goodness sakes, get people on your loyalty program if they're not on already. If you don't have their email address, get their email address, right? We need to be able to market out to these people. We finally get them in our store. We have to give them a good reason to come back to our store. Cash counter selling. It's the easiest sale you make in retail. It really is. You know, they've already decided to make a purchase in your store. They've got their credit card out. They're already spending $20, $30, $40, $500, $1,000, $1,500 in your store. Prompting them on an impulse item that's at your cash desk that costs like $5, $7, $10, that's got big margin on it. That's an easy thing. That's an easy, throw that in. Like it's going to show up on the statement at some point. It's the rounding error out there, right? But it just because it's on your cash desk doesn't mean it's going to sell, right? Put a program into place to get your cashiers involved with selling it. Like consider having a contest. What cashier is going to sell the most of these particular cash counter items? Get them engaged somehow, some way, so that they're always prompting customers when they come through the cash lane with something that you've got featured, that's impulse, that's on sale. Have a program, get going on those things. Let's get off the selling thing. Let me take a sip of water. Managing staff performance. This is for all my managers that are on the line, and there's lots of you out here. Daily huddles. I talk about it all the time. If you're not running shift starters, daily huddles, 2-minute meetings, whatever you want to call these things, you are behind the times, right? You could tell me all the reasons why it doesn't work in your store, and I will give you 20 more reasons why those ideas are not good enough. They're just excuses, and that you need to do these things. And don't tell me you're not going to do it during the holidays because you're too busy, because they're more important during the holidays. Get your staff together. It's 2 minutes to 5 minutes. That's all this is. It's kind of like pull them in together. Recognition, set some goals, problem solve, product knowledge, selling tip, standard of the day. Just 2 to 5 minutes, get everybody started in the right direction. If you do that, you stand a better chance of having a better day. If you don't do it, I just don't know what you're doing, right? Everybody's just kind of coming and doing their thing. There's no plan. There's no follow-up. There's no thinking proactively about what we're going to do. Run these things. If you don't know how to run a shift starter in your store, send me an email. I will send you a shift starter toolkit, right? It's got 4 minutes, tells you what to do in these things. They're not complicated. They're not hard. Get on your horse. Let's get them done. Stay focused on your goals, please. And there's another one that's going to come up, a slide on getting serious about your metrics. It's kind of like the same point in here, but a little bit different. What I'm trying to say with this one is don't get lost in being busy. You got to get everybody driven on specific goals, whether it's a sales goal, a conversion rate, average sale, items per sale, feature items, loyalties. Like, what is the thing that we're trying to accomplish today, right? Give people something to work for. Otherwise, they're going to be busy. We're going to be short-staffed. There's going to be too many customers, and we're just going to get racing around. We're just going to be clerking stuff over there. Everybody's going to be trying to survive. But if I can get everybody focused on an average sale goal or an items per sale goal, it's like, all right, let's get 4 items into everybody's basket. All right, let's go, right? Let's talk about strategies of how we're going to do that. And now, as I'm working with customers over the course of the day, even though I'm really busy, I've got something. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm getting reporting on it and coaching on it. I'm being held accountable to it. It just works so much better if I get everybody focused on something else besides we're busy in the store. What is the measure of success? The daily top 5 every day at your shift starter on the sales floor. Just ask people, don't say, what can we do to get better? It's like, tell me the top 5 things we're going to do today to build our loyalty card sign up. Tell me 5 things we could have done yesterday that would have resulted in it being a better day. Tell me 5 self-care things we need to be aware of today to look after each other amidst all the chaos of our store, right? And the moment you start to implant that notion of top 5, now your staff kind of get it. And now they're thinking more tactically. They've got a goal for ideas. So when you talk to somebody, say, hey, I know you're with that customer for a little while. We weren't able to make the sale. Not sure what happened there, but just talk to me. Talk to me about 5 things you think you might have been able to do a little bit different to get it across the finish line, right? And now people, they don't just go, they go, no, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They get moving on it. This is the thing about getting serious about your metrics. For my managers, you need an action plan in place. You need a plan in place, what you're actually going to do to drive average sale, items per sale for each items, conversion rate, if you have traffic counters, like, what's your plan, right? How are you actually getting that done, right? Because if you're waiting for it to happen to you, it's likely not going to happen. But, when we run, workshops for people, I'll often do what I call the 30-day challenge, and I'll give people a challenge, and I'll say, okay, listen, your challenge is to grow your average basket by at least 10% in the next 30 days. Write out an action plan, and guaranteed, if they write out an action plan and they execute it, average sales goes up by 10%. And then that becomes our new norm. But we have to put some considered thought into it. Now is a really good time for every manager that's on the line right now to pick a metric that's going to be like your rallying cry and sit down and go, all right, what are we going to do to grow that number? What are we going to do to grow that number? And then you'll prove to yourself that you're very capable of doing. I think I skipped one there. How could I skip this one? Don't tolerate poor performance. I know it's really hard. Tough hiring markets. People are hiring, with the, fog the mirror test out there. And you're thinking, well, we need some bodies on the floor. It's easier for me to say it than for you to do it, because I don't have to do it. You do. But man, oh man, over the course of the year, you run short staff all the time. People call in sick. You still manage to run the store. It's hard, but you still run the store. The problem is if you got a dud on your schedule, I'm sure they're a great person. They're just wrong place at the wrong time. They're killing the customer experience and they're killing the staff experience for everybody else. And they're killing your stress level. And I'm like, well, why do we have them there? Right? I could probably try to get a fast hire on to replace them or just give somebody else more hours. People are always looking for more hours out there. Don't tolerate these people out there because they are destroying your business this year. Remember the point about selling for 2024? If I walk in your store and I get that dud, I'm not coming back to your store next year. Why? Because I think that's what all your staff are like. So don't tolerate these things. More, not less coaching. Really important point for you to understand. People always go, we don't have time to do all the coaching because I'm really busy. I go, your greatest chance of success as a manager comes through your staff. You don't buy the product. You don't set the price. You don't do the marketing. You don't do store design. You don't even pick the music in most stores that's out there. What's your leverage? It's your staff. How important are your staff at the holidays? Really important, because who's going to do all the markdowns? Who's going to receive all the stock? Who's going to wait on the customers, cash everybody out, sweep the floors? Who's doing all that? Your staff. Okay. They're crazy, busy. They're tired. They're stressed. They need their coach, right? So crank up the coaching, don't reduce the coaching, because the tendency is for everybody to go, I don't have really any time. I'm going to be in the back room if you need me. And I'm like, oh God, don't do that. Your staff are dying out there. Please go and give them the time. At seasonals, I love seasonals. They can smile better than anybody else. They just don't know a bunch of anything because they haven't been there long enough. Get them trained properly. I know it's hard to get your seasonals up to speed, but we've been doing it for a long time in retail. We should have this down to a bit of a science right now. Buddy systems, quick start orientation sessions, get a selling tip sheet, get a frequently asked question sheet, review this with them. Make sure they know what they're doing out there as best you possibly can, right? Just challenge where you're at with it and see if you can make it better. For my managers, get out of the back office. Get on the sales floor. Right. And I'm sure most of you, that's where you spend your time. But if I have any manager on the line now that spends an inordinate amount of time in the back office, I don't know what you're doing back there. Right. You're doing paperwork. I'm not saying that's not important, but I can get somebody else to do the paperwork a lot easier than I can find somebody that's a good merchant, a good leader, a good coach, a good salesperson. Right. I need you to get out there and think of yourself as a floor general, right? Like just seeing what's working out there, directing traffic around, stepping in where you're needed. Like that's where I need you. It's not in the office, right? We spend money in the office. We make money on the floor. The product's on the floor. The customers are on the floor. The staff are on the floor. I need my manager out on the floor. Contest. I say this all the time. If I ran a store, I'd have a contest running every week, all year. I'd have a different contest running all year long. Why? Contests influence behaviors. They boost morale. It provides recognition. It changes it away from being just another shift to, hey, we've got something going on this week. I wonder what it's going to be, right? And the payouts don't have to be big. Like a little like $5 Timmy's gift card goes a long way. If you love your staff, get them a Starbucks one. But just sit down and think, I got 6 weeks. I got to come up with 6 simple little contests. Keep it simple, whether they're individual or team. Focus them on a metric, right? You got all these metrics. It's average sale this week. It's items for sale next. It's email sign up the next. It's loyalty the week after that. If you have traffic counters, it's conversion on that. It's on promo items. It's who knows, right? Like just simple. The shorter it is, the better. Maybe it's this week, every day we're having a contest so that the payout is every day. Those work the best. But have something in place. Don't wait for your head office to come up with it. Just do something yourself out at store level. Make your staff the stars. You know, God bless the people that are like actually out there, right? Taking it in teeth from customers who behave badly. And now it's getting really busy out there. We have a gift. I swear we all are born with a gift when we become managers of finding all the things that are wrong. There's way more stuff going on in your stores with all your staff that is right than is wrong. Catch them doing all those things, right? 80%, 90% of all the feedback you give to your staff should be positive, right? Should be supportive. It's thanking them. It's pointing out all the good things. It's only 10 or 20% that's kind of like, hey, that could have gone maybe a little bit better, right? Get on top of providing that positive feedback to your staff. Make a point of it. Become that type of positive, encouraging leader for your staff. They will love you for it. excuse me, some simple store operation ideas. None of these are rocket science, by the way. These are all fairly simple and straightforward. Cash desk, don't let it bog down. It's going to. I spend time in the malls, even in downtown stores. I see cash desks get bogged down. Customers are so impatient nowadays. We have trained customers that they should expect it like that. Heck, you buy something online, it can show up same day. It can show up in 2 hours. They'll deliver it to you in the park, for goodness sakes. Like it's crazy the expectation level that we've set on people. So now if I walk into your store, there's a lineup at the cash desk and that looks pretty ugly. I'm probably not buying unless I really need to buy in your store. I'm going to tell myself I'll come back later. I never go back later. I find it somewhere else where the store wasn't busy down there. Get the lineups moving. It's easier said than done. I know. Just stay on top of the things that you have control over. How many people you've got there? Is there enough register tape around? Do we have enough bags around? Bags to be able to do it? Do the people at the desk know what they're doing? Those sort of things really do make a difference. I'm sure you've done this one around now. Maintenance checkups happen now. Your lights, your change rooms, your printers, your printer tickets, your ticket machines, your pens, your register tape, your bags, your app, whatever. What else do you have on your list? Right. Add it to your list. Make sure you've got it working now, and that if it's something that's going to break, burn out, run out, go get more. Right. Get on top of it because it's too late to do it once we get to December 10th. Right. Now we got a crisis on our hand. No boxes on the floor. Again, easier for me to say than you guys to do it. We wait all year for all these people to show up in our store. I don't know why we're merchandising the store in the middle of the day. I get it. Every now and then we had to run something. We had to go in the back, got more of it because I only had so much room. So I had to go get it, had to bring it up. I get it. Before the store opens or after the store closes, that's when we merchandise the store. And it's hard. The smaller the retailer you are, the harder that is to do from a scheduling perspective. You know, I love it when I get to malls early before they open, and I love it. I go in and I'll be there 2 hours before the mall opens, and I see staff in the store racing around and merchandising stuff so that when we open, it's like a theater performance, right? You know, when you go to see like a play, it's not like, you know, the curtains open, they're still building the set. It's sort of like the curtains open and the play begins. We're ready at that stage. Figure it out how you can make that worse. Empty out your back room. You can't sell it if it's in the back. That one was prompted by one of my clients. Like, could you put that one in there? Because we have product in the back room that's been celebrating birthdays. So see if you can't deal with that. For my leaders that are out there, 5 things. This is going to be a little bit of a quiz because I know I have some clients on there. This should sound a little bit familiar to you. Get everybody focused on your key goals. I'm going to give you 5 things to do. Take a picture of this if you need to stay on top of this. So everyone's focused on key goals every day. Keep it really simple, right? What's our goal for today? Next, measure and share your results more frequency. So if I'm going to say, guys, this is what we're driving today, do hourly, do bi-hourly reads, right? With people, report back to them, get a chart in the back, right? And record what your progress is with these people. Accountability, make it important. Spread it out amongst your team, right? So if I'm a manager and it's a sizable store and I'm going to be really busy with stuff, I'm going to look over at an assistant, or even better still, a full-timer or a part-timer that just bright-eyed and bushy-tail and looking like they want more stuff. And I'm going to go, tell you what, I want you to be the leader for this average sale push we've got going on today. So you do the readings and you report it to everybody and you update the chart and you come to the table tomorrow morning and ask everybody what 5 things are. Right? Like push it out to all these people so that now we've got everybody paddling in the same direction. Every day, give your team 2 or 3 tips for success, more training, more coaching over the course of the day, and provide lots and lots of recognition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for all my alumni that are on this line today. You know what those 5 things are, don't you? Those are the 5 foundations. We build programs around that. We drive things with that. It's a really important thing to be able to do, right? So get on top of those things. Some marketing ideas. I would tell you that I have no right talking to you about marketing. We are terrible marketers here at Graff. But these are some basic things that I think you need to be able to do. Market to your existing customers. For goodness sakes, they love you. If they love you, they're more likely to buy from you. It's an easier sale to make, right? So get on top of that. Street front retailers, better signage, right? All these people are walking by. What are you doing to stop them? A-frames, digital. I'm in downtown Oakville. Oh my God, this cruise center, just these brilliant windows. Looks like a cruise windows. They got digital screens inside. At night is fantastic. Everybody's stopping and looking at. It's a cruise business. I didn't even know anybody went on cruises anymore after the pandemic, and they're rocking it down there. Why? Because all of a sudden it's like everybody's curious about what they're doing in there. Get it right on Google, by the way. Go to google.com.business, update your hours, right? If you got different hours, put it on there. Everybody's going over to Google Maps. They're trying to take a look at when you're open. Make sure you've got the right information. Convenience. It's a convenience-driven society. Whether it's curbside, in-stock, priced, pre-wrapped, bestsellers featured, your hero products available, non-stuff, gift. What can you do to make the shopping experience easier? I want to get into your store, out of your store. How do I speed this thing up along the way? Experience plus. It's Christmas. If somebody could just mute themselves, I kind of get that little bit of a feedback through your microphone. So if you don't mind, just get going on that. Oh, sorry. Go here for a second. Little things. Like I remember going into more than one store last year where they had pre-wrapped gifts. So they had the item on display and it was already wrapped up. They had a whole bunch wrapped and I could just get it and it's already wrapped. Like I'm a guy. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like the greatest thing in the world. I just grab it and go. I don't even have to wrap it. This is done for me. Easy things to be able to do. Look at and then there was this experience one. You guys know this, right? Just think about it. I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about retailers that we miss. And I said, you know, I miss, there was a menswear retailer that I used to go to all the time. And, you know, it was great. And I love the clothes that were there, but what was really great is, you know, you'd walk in, he'd give you an espresso with a biscotti, or depending on the day, you'd have a glass of wine or a beer while you're there. And I'm like, it was just such a great environment. Now, he was smart because he knows, look, if I'm giving you a glass of wine, you're buying something in my store today, because you're not about, it's favors for favors, right? You're not going to drink my wine and not buy something in here, right? Drunk shopping is like a $3 billion a year industry out there. So he's contributing to that. But it created this great experience in the store. So you need to get on top of creating those great experiences for everybody that comes into your store. All right. On to my tips for independence. If you are a chain-based retailer, these last 10 things I'm going to talk about, not really for you. So thank you for attending. You could probably sign off and get back to doing something. But if you are an independent retailer and you have control over these things, my suggestion is to you that you kind of hang around and listen a little bit to these ideas. First, extend your hours. It drives me crazy. My office is, I'm in Oakville, Ontario, downtown, and we got the booming little downtown. It's just kicking ass. It's amazing what's happened down here. I have retailers not open on Sundays. It's our second busiest day for traffic downtown. They're not open. I got people not open on Monday and Tuesday. There's people that I get people who close at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, look, let's just talk the holiday hours. If you just stayed open an extra 2 or 3 hours, it's not going to kill you. I know it's probably harder to staff, but from a wage cost perspective, it's going to be a profitable. I've tracked this with all these little independents that are downtown. You know, they go through a little bit of a lull, from 5 to 6, and then it gets busy from 6 to 8. Why? Because all the restaurants are downtown and everybody's coming out to them. We have a habit of being open when our customers are at work and then being closed when they have time to come to my store. Easier said for me to say it than for you to do it, but do me a favor. Consider the possibility of extending your hours by an hour or 2 every day during the holiday period. Capture a few more customers along the way. Your return policy, you're not going to change this for me now, but I am going to tell you, if you don't have a liberal return policy that's out there, you're just building walls between you and the customer and their decision to make a purchase in your store today. We don't set our policies for the exceptions to the rule. Those people are going to try to scam it and cheat it. We don't set the policy for those people. We manage those people over there. And I say to people all the time, think about the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars you give to Visa, MasterCard, and Amex every year in discount and exchange fees. You're okay with that. Believe me, the amount of fraudulent refunds that you're going to run into will pale in comparison to what you pay to Visa and MasterCard. right? It's just a different way of being able to look at this thing. Don't make it hard for your customers to buy in your store. Sell and work with other retailers. Get out there, have a special shopping day, a special discount morning for all the retailers that are in your strip plaza, your mall, your downtown area. Invite them all. Go get a flyer out. Say, tell you, I'm having a special members only invite on Tuesday morning between 8 and 11. Come in. You're going to get an extra 10% off. I'm doing that because I want to make sales to them. But what I'm doing is I'm also making them ambassadors for my business. So they're going to refer people up to my store, right? Just think about how you might be able to work with that. Make it easy for it to shop. Clear signage. Don't obstruct the aisles. Keep the lineouts moving. Give them a basket. Basic retailing stuff. Make it easy to buy. Pre-wrap gift solutions. I talked about that before. It's just so easy to do. Free gift wrapping. I don't know if anybody does that anymore out there. Do me a favor. If you're a fashion store, don't run out of boxes on December 12th. Right? It boggles my mind when I'm at a retail, we don't have any boxes left. It's December 12th. Like, did you think, are your sales that good that you already hit your sales targets for the month of December, or just plan that poorly that you've run out of boxes at this stage? Make it easy for people. Feed your customers, cookies, snacks, drinks for your staff, for your staff in the back room. Like, look after your staff, like 2-3 times a week. Have special treats for them in the back room. It keeps people around. In your windows, how would I assess windows? I'm trying to think about the walk that I did yesterday through the downtown that I'm here. 20% of windows were really good, like really good. 50% looked like they look like all year round. So I'm not so sure what the appeal was. And 30% are just awful. Like, I'm not so sure why people even bother to have a window, because it's just, they should be on a side street rather on the main street, because it's just, they're not doing anything to try to encourage somebody to come in. Get out there. It's not hard to find visual merchandisers that can come in and create amazing displays in your window. Maybe you can do it yourself. Go online, steal ideas that you see out there. But great windows, right? Everything starts with traffic, right? It's the old retail equation. Traffic times your conversion rate percentage times your average sale equals your sales. But it all starts with traffic. Got to get them to come in. So how are you going to get them to come in, right? Well, your windows, the reason you pay all that rent is for the exposure that you have. Make sure your windows are screaming at them that there's something going on in here that you need to come in and you need to be able to see. Get involved with your community. And it's not too late. I see people do amazing things. They link themselves with a charity. I see people doing food bank drives. They're doing coat drives. They're supporting local hockey teams. They found great charities where they're doing something with it. You can't be just about making money. All right. What's your give back to the community? And I think this is my last one. Don't panic with markdowns. Retail's done a really good job in the past 5-6 years in particular of controlling their inventory levels. You might remember years ago, if you walked into stores in January, there was tons of product out there. Not so much anymore. We're much better at managing that inventory level across the board in most retailers out there, regardless of size, which is really good. Just keep in mind, right? You need some inventory, right? For those, from December, 20th to 25th, and then Boxing Day. Boxing Day is like a really good week. First week of January, because of gift cards, is a really good week. Second week's still a really good week. You need some inventory to be able to support that. You might be able to make some more of those sales with higher margin attached to it, rather than panicking because you see the department stores dropping their pants about December 1st and wanting to give everything away because, well, it's the only way they can sell stuff that's out there. Just be aware of that. All right. We made it to the end of this thing. I tried to keep this thing to 45 minutes. So it looks like I'm pretty much right on track with this. There is a world of potential in all of our stores out there, a world of untapped potential in all of our stores out there. Somewhere amidst all those ideas, you can find 5 of them to put in place in your business that will make a difference for your customers, for your staff, and for your results this holiday season. All you got to do is get moving forward. So with that, I just want to thank you guys for attending us, this webinar with me today. If you have any questions, if we can help in any way, you know where to find us. So thanks, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful day.